Welcome back. Well, until the pandemic hit, the UK's creative sector was growing 5 times faster than the rest of the economy and employing more than 2 million people. But the COVID crisis hit hard and it was projected to lose 1 in 5 jobs, more than 400,000, with revenue down by some 30%. Well, now a group of leading designers have got together to launch a new initiative to help new people who've been furloughed or lost their jobs. Well, here to talk to me about it is Deborah Dawton. She's Chief Executive of the Design Business Association. Deborah, good morning to you. What exactly are you going to be doing?
Ian, good morning. Well, we're delighted to be able to say that we're launching an initiative today which aims to keep those people who've been furloughed or those that haven't been able to get jobs, so last year's graduates, in touch with the industry. And we're going to be doing that through a digital platform, and the industry is signing up at the moment to contribute their expertise, their time and their money. And what we're hoping is that these graduates and those designers that are out of the work at the moment will register for some of that expertise. So we'll be matching them and putting them together.
And that figure that I quoted there, potentially 400,000 jobs, that is a number you would recognise?
It is. I mean, we stand to lose 1 in 5 jobs across the industry. Across the creative industries as a whole. So it's a really important issue to address. We don't want to lose that talent. And the likelihood is that as businesses are getting back to those levels of trading that they were at before, it's something that had an effect last year. It will probably have an effect this year. And I think we'll still see the effect of the pandemic on the number of people we're able to employ going into next year. So we see this as being something that will help with this issue over the next 2 to 3 years, and then we'll see how it goes.
Deborah, do you worry that some of these people will have been lost permanently to the sector?
No, I'm not. Design is in your DNA. And if people have to go and do something else to make ends meet, of course they have to do that. We've all got to pay our bills. What we want to do is keep them in touch with the sector. So we know we can't employ them straight away, but we don't want to lose that talent permanently. And we experienced that in the last recession. What happened was we lost 2 or 3 years worth of creative talent to the sector, and that hole in the industry has followed us over time. So this time we want to do something about it, keep them in touch with us and get them into the jobs as soon as we're able to offer those roles back out.
And what about the pipeline of new talent? I mean, in a couple of months' time, there'll be a whole generation of fresh graduates emerging with design and technology qualifications. What prospects for them?
Well, you said it at the start of the piece, didn't you? We're a sector that's growing at 5 times, or we were growing at 5 times faster than the rest of the economy. So I'm optimistic that we'll get back to those sorts of levels. We're one of the most creative nations on this planet, and our talents are sought worldwide. That confluence of skills that we have in the UK around design and the creative industries is incredibly valuable. And I know that we'll continue to attract that inward investment to come here for those skills.
I was really interested by something you said a moment ago, Deborah, which was that there was a sort of group of people that were lost to the sector during the last shakeout. How has that played out? You said that we're still living with the impact of that today.
Yeah, it just means that if you're looking for a designer with 10 to 12 years experience, they don't exist because we weren't employing people during that period of time. And there wasn't anything like the Design Community Hub to be able to keep them in touch with the industry. And we're a sociable lot in the design industry. You know, when we spot talent, we want to keep it in our sector. It's the lifeblood of this industry sector. So it's really important that this time we don't lose sight of who they are, where they are, and as soon as we're able to, bring them back into our businesses. But in the meantime, we want to be able to give them the experience, keep them in touch with the sector, keep on top of their skills, and so on. And this is a great way of being able to do that.
So you said there you're a sociable lot in your sector. Does this mean everyone's going to be trying to get back to the office as soon as humanly possible and work together and collaborate together, or do you still expect there to be a fair degree of working from home?
I think as a sector, we're one that pushes the boundaries. And so I think you're going to see a big change in the sector, in fact, in terms of how it works. And there'll be an element of, I think, a far greater level of flexibility across the design industry and how people work. We've had real success in people adapting to the changes in our sector, and that happened really quickly. So when you've got an industry sector that is very digitally aware, it's able to change and adapt very quickly to the circumstances it finds itself in. That's not to say we wouldn't rather be back in our studios. It's the nature of how we work is that we kind of rub off on each other. But I think there's going to be opportunity also for much more flexible approach. We've all seen those office overheads come down, the travel overheads come down, probably something that even our sector will want to stick to.
All right, Deborah, great talking to you this morning. Best of luck with that initiative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, it's almost a year since the first lockdown was imposed and